Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. It's Samantha back here again for a little bit something different actually today. To start with, I'm in a different room, so you'll probably see a little bit of shadow on this video. It's an extremely icky day today here in the northwest of England. It's beautiful yesterday and it's heaving it down today. So I've got my lights on today, so I hope that it doesn't detract from the video. If it does, let me know in the comments when we're all done and I'll try not to do it again. So today I thought we would make some boho beads. I've been making these guys for a very, very long time, and I think that they're just gorgeous. You can use them for handbag charms, for putting in your home just to catch the light, for, you know, a little bit of sparkle. I've had quite a few people buy these from me back in the day when I had an Etsy shop. To put on things like junk journals and bags, hats, all sorts of things. I just think they're absolutely gorgeous, and you can make them in so many different colours, so many different sizes. I will actually be doing a tutorial shortly after this one to make the earring version of these. They're much smaller, same principles apply. So I thought we'd have a look at making these today. So I'm not sure whether I'll have to split this up into two videos because it's actually quite a fun and lengthy video. Maybe we'll just have a chat and perhaps I'll split it into two, so we'll see. Okay, so let's have a look at the things that we need. I mean, I'm not sure whether to go through a list of materials or whether to just go ahead and make these, and we'll have a chat whilst we're making them. Let's just do that, shall we? I probably will put a list of materials in the description box so that you guys can get your supplies if you're missing a few bits and pieces. So I'm just going to move the demonstration board away, and I'm going to use my green mat, mainly because there's lots going on and I'm sat at my big table today. So hopefully you can see what I'm doing okay. Right, so let's go ahead and have a think about how we make these beauties. You're going to need to start with some paper drinking straws. Now for the big ones, I use these long paper drinking straws, and you just sort of cut them to size. When I'm making my smaller earring versions, I use these cocktail straws. You can buy these, you know, for if you are quite into cocktail parties and things like that. Cocktail straws. I'm not. I don't think I've had a cocktail in my life. Maybe I have. One or two maybe. But yeah, these little tiny cocktail straws are really good for the smaller versions. But for today, we're going to be using a large paper straw, like so. Just a regular paper straw. So think about the size that you want your piece to be. I quite like them to be a decent size. So what we're looking at here, 10, maybe 15 centimetres, 6 inches long from start to finish. The one that we're going to make today, I'm going to make into a key ring. So I've got a key ring hoop to put on the end of it. But these lobster claw clasps ones are lovely because you can just hook them onto anything. So we start with our paper straw. You just come in with some scissors, and let's have a think. So if I make this about, I don't know, 8 centimetres long, something like that, just give it a cut off, like so. Okay, so the thing I need to think about now is what colours to use. So I've gathered some different bits and pieces, and I'm going to do pink today. So I buy these in sets. I think there's like 30 or 40 little squares, because I am trying to dabble a little bit into quilting. I was bought a sewing machine for Mother's Day a couple of years ago, so I've tried quilting. So these are just offcuts from that, really. So what we do is we'll need to cover this guy in some strips of material. So what I try and do is gather my materials together that all sort of have a theme, and as we go along with all of this, I'll show you what you need as we progress. Okay, so I'll just cut a little strip, and I'll just need to go and find my fabric glue, so just bear with me for a second. I'll just pop you on hold, as it were. Welcome back. Sorry for keeping you on hold there. Oh dear. I thought I'd gotten all of my materials together, but obviously not. So I use Fabri-Tac. I know you guys in the States know about this particular brand. All you do, literally, is just pop a little bit onto the end of your straw and stick your material to it, just at a slight angle, because we are going to be covering our straw with the fabric. Okay, so if you get to this point, you need a little bit more glue, like so, and then cut another little strip. I think making these is really therapeutic actually, and it's particularly in the summertime because they are really, really pretty. And then how I finish them off with a few little sequins is they're quite sparkly too. So okay, so just a little bit of fabric glue, pop that on there like so, and we literally roll this around. Oh, it's not sticking, is it? Try a bit more. That's a bit too much. It's all coming out and going all gooey. Typical. There we go. That's better. So again, wrap it round. The reason I put fabric underneath is because when we're wrapping our banana yarn or our yarns around it, it's nice to have a little bit of a gap so you can see the fabric underneath maybe. So all you need to make sure that you do is that you cover the straw completely and then just seal it up at the other end like so. Okay, so there we are. So we've got our straw covered in our fabric. I'll just pop this back on. Okay, now I discovered a company in the UK called Yarn and Yarn, I think they're called, and these guys source materials from India and all over the world, Sri Lanka I think, and all sorts of places that were used to make sari and things like that. And they take these yarns and they recycle them. So you can buy, can you see that? Ooh, that's a bit close to the camera. You can buy sort of packs of all sorts of different yarns for not very much. And they come with these beautiful banana yarns and silks and sari silks and things like that in all sorts of different colours. So you can get like what they call like a surprise bag, I guess. So, you know, you can find these beautiful, I mean, look at that for a beautiful colour. Isn't that gorgeous? So somewhere that actually deals with sari yarns, sari silks, banana yarns, if you can find something online. I will add a link to Yarn and Yarn underneath in the description box for those in the UK that want to have a look at their site. They're brilliant. Okay, so that's where I get mine from. So this came in one of the surprise boxes and I just thought it was just such a beautiful colour and so silky and beautiful. So I'm going to use this today. So let's have a look. You can use anything you like, really. Even your, you know, your yarn that you use for knitting or crochet, I guess, would be okay. Cotton would probably work pretty well, as long as it's not, you know, it's not going to be too fluffy. But you need a bit of fluff, don't you? I mean, these guys have got a bit of fluff on. Look, tiny bit fluffy. Okay, so yeah, I think that looks quite nice. So you want to cut yourself off a little piece. Let's have a look. Yeah, I think that looks okay. Okay, right. So before we do that, what we want to do is to get some wire, because we want to make a core with hoops in between. So we want to grab some wire and some beads. So let's have a look. Let's have a think. Okay, I'm going to use silver today because I think it would look quite nice with one of these tassels, that colour tassel, I think. Yeah, and this is just basically a case of just grab your stash, see what you've got, and have just a play about. So let's have a think. Yeah, so get my snippers, and about so much, I think. Right, so let's have a think about some beads now, because I like to put some pretty beads on either side. And let's have a look. Coordinating colours, that kind of thing. And also these little rhinestone, I don't know, spacer beads maybe, I think they're called. Have you got some of those? Some of those would look really good. Let's have a look. I think actually this video is just a case of me going, oh, look at that. Oh, that's so shiny. Let's just get a couple of those out. Oh, shiny things, honestly. Anybody else completely addicted to shiny things? Yeah, I think that's just par for the course, isn't it, with us guys with these kind of beads and shiny things. Beads, let's have a look what we've got. Now then. Ooh, now then. How about something really sparkly? Yeah, let's have some sparklies. Or have we got some too much sparkle? Can you have too much sparkle? What do you think? This is just basically, let's just suck it and see. Yeah, why not? Let's, oh, wait a minute. Oh, see, now I've got a problem, haven't I? We have a problem, guys. Honestly, it's trying to have a look. No, maybe that's a little bit too wide. So just, I think, have a look in your stash, see what you've got, and see what coordinates. They're a bit too small. Maybe they're a bit too small. Ooh. Now then, okay, there we go. Here we go. Yep, we're getting there. Right, so move these out of the way for now. Okay, so we need to make a little hoop on this one side. So just give your wire a little bit of a stretch out. Make sure that it's flush cut at the end. So second step on my plier, because I like a decent size hook. Loop, sorry, should I say. Yeah, I think that looks about right. Come in and just straighten that up. Yeah, okay, that looks okay, doesn't it? Let's just get rid of these bits. Okay, probably too much wire there, but hey ho, not to worry. So let's pop our first bead on. Bet you guys have got stashes like me, haven't you? Good grief. I've been collecting my stash now for what feels like a million years, and I have probably got way too many things. I hide them because... Are you hiding post like I do? When the mail comes, and you're like, oh no, darling, no, nothing's come today. What do you think of that? Oh, actually, that looks really pretty, doesn't it? Yeah. I thought about these greenish ones because I'm going to use... Yeah, okay, that's good. Right, so we pop our straw on over the top, which sits nicely there, doesn't it? Yeah, I think that looks okay. And then we'll put the next one on, like so. So it fits into the straw essentially, yeah? Because what we're going to be doing is winding our yarns or banana yarns or whatever around here, and they kind of tuck inside, so don't worry about that for now. And then that, and then our second bead. So how does that look? Yeah, I mean, this is going to be a really big one. Why not? Yeah, go big or go home, they say, don't they? So we need to now think about making our second loop. So make sure everything's all tight, and bend and chop about there maybe, and we'll do our second loop. So around and around. Oh, perfect. Honestly, that doesn't happen very often, does it, when you get the measurements exactly perfect. Okay, so this is what we have. Looks kind of cute already. I mean, this is going to be a huge one, actually. Well, there you go. Oh, there, yeah, maybe I've got somewhere in my lounge that I can hang this to catch the light, so that would be good. Okay, so the next thing we need to do is to get our yarn. Let's have a look. I did cut a bit off, but I don't think it's going to be enough, so I'm just going to cut some more off. So here we go. So how are you guys doing? What's the weather like where you are? In British summertime, it's just typical, isn't it, that we have a couple of days of sun, and there you go. So let's have a think here. Maybe I'll cut it off when I've finished. Right, so what I do with this is in between this bead and this piece of cardboard straw, you can actually pop that in to anchor it in, like so. And then basically you just wind this guy around arbitrarily, happily making a real mess if you want. Just these guys are great because there's no rhyme or reason to them. There is no, way to make them. You just do whatever you feel like on the day. Okay, so see, I've just tucked that in. There we go, and pulled it. So how does that look? Yeah, I think that looks quite nice. So you can see a little bit of the original fabric through, which I quite like. So once you're happy with your bead, you can just literally snip that guy off because it's tucked in here. And snip this guy off. Oh, there we go. So let's shift that out of the way. Right, so how good is that looking? I mean, I like these fibres that sort of come off. So if you want to make it a little bit more raggedy, or what's the word? I don't know. Raggedy. There you go. That's a good word. Raggedy. There you go. So how's that? I mean, gosh, this is going to be a big bead, Sam. Heavens above. Okay. Actually, I've got a backpack that this might look good with. Okay. So next thing we need to do. You can purchase sort of strings in packages like these. I have got lots of these in various different colorways. So if you have something like this, you can use these guys, or look at that one. Ooh, now then, see? Yeah, that's pretty, isn't it? Sparkly. Should we use that one? Let's go full sparkle, shall we? Why not? So have a look and see what you've got in your stash. I'm sure you guys have got loads of these kind of things in your stash, the same as me. So I'll just literally wind that round a couple of times so it sits in there quite nicely. And again, give this a wind around and back over, and just make it random. Don't want it too what's the word, straight laced, do we? I think let's have a bit of randomness to things. How's that? Actually, that looks really pretty, doesn't it? There we go. So tuck that in. There we go. So that gets tucked in between the bead and the straw. Yeah, I like that. How does that look? Yeah, that's good. So if we're happy with that, again, just snip, snip, and snip. Okay, so that's our little, I mean, look at these. There's all sorts of different types of yarn in there, like strings, and look, gorgeous, aren't they? I love getting these kind of things because they lend themselves to all sorts of inspirational things, don't they? So let's bob that out of the way. Now then, bit of a thinnish bead there, so we need something to thicken it up in the middle a little bit, I think. So what shall we do? Let's have a think. Let's maybe pop a little more of the banana yarn in there. just around the middle, because I like them to have a fat middle, which is story of my life. Anybody else with a fat middle? Yeah. There we go. Just tuck that in there. That looks good. If you're struggling with that, just give it a squeeze in. Tuck it in. We're going to be finishing that off with wire soon, so don't worry too much. So yeah, that's better. So you can just see that other yarn's poking through. That's good. Fat middles. There we are. Shall we be the fat middle club? I really do need to lose some weight. Maybe this year will be the year in which I lose some weight. Okay, so we want to just tuck that in. That's a bit short there actually, so I'll bring it round here. There we go, that's tucked in. Yeah, I think that's a little bit better. Just wanted it slightly more chunky around the middle. Yeah, happy with that. And then we'll bob that in there like so. Good. Okay, so now then, let's have a think. I like to pop some contrasting wire around sometimes, or you can buy this beautiful, I'm not sure what they call this actually, but it's really thin tiger tail maybe. No, maybe that's not it. Maybe you guys can think about what that's called in the comments. Actually, I can't remember off the top of my head, but I bought this. I'll show you my little box of tricks here. I bought these guys from a large online retailer in all sorts of different colours. So what goes maybe? Ooh, now then, or shall I go with matchy matchy? No, maybe I won't. Let's have a think. What other colours do we have? White, no. Green, no. This is what this is all about, guys. You just literally see what you've got in your stash. And, oh yeah, there you go. See what you've got in your stash and have fun. That's the whole point, isn't it? Just going to tuck that in a little bit more. Because it's not playing the game, that one. Right, there we go. Okay, so let's have a think. Yeah, we'll use this one. Now, what I tend to do now is when I wind this thin wire around, I put tiny little seed beads on. Can you see here? So I think I may use silver today. Perhaps, yeah. Or shall I use the little red ones? Oh gosh, choices. It's decisions, isn't it? Let's have a think. I've got glue on me. What do you think, guys? Yeah, we'll go with the red ones, and I might use the silver ones to attach these lovely sequins. So let's go for this. Right, so what we do now is we take, oh, see these going everywhere. Do you have desks like this at home? Your little craft space where you just literally spread out and there's stuff everywhere? I'll maybe put a big picture up of a little bit video of my work space this morning, honestly. Okay, right, let's give this a go. So you're going to want, you know, a decent amount. Snip that off. So again, because we've got a really good anchor point here, you can just wind that round and pull it tight, and it sort of sits in really nicely. So the next boring thing that we need to do is to pop on a load of seed beads. Now this is where I usually say talk amongst yourselves, have a party, tell us a joke. Do you know any jokes? I'm not really good at telling jokes, so it's probably not a good idea that I tell any jokes. British humour, certainly northern humour, tends to be a little bit sort of sarcastic and abrasive sometimes. So quite a lot of times in my life I have tried to be funny and it's come across as being really, really unfunny. So I don't bother anymore. Okay, let's go for this and see how many we've got. Don't need a huge amount of beads because we're going to be sewing some sequins, into this. Now when I finish this, there are going to be a million little seed beads all over the floor. You can see it coming. That's a job for my daughter to find them all. Okay, so as you can see here, we've got our little seed beads attached. So what I do is I tend to wind them around, a couple of seed beads at a time, like so. You can see this okay. Yep, there we go. So wind this lovely cord around, like so, spreading your seed beads out, like so, and add a few more on. So just make sure you keep hold of your bead, like I'm doing here, under my hand, so that it doesn't all unravel. That's the only thing I'll say, because you don't want it to unravel at this point. So I hope you guys have got lots of this kind of thing in your stash. I'm sure you have. Gosh, I bet we've all been collecting things for years, haven't we? Right, so windy, windy, and tightly so that it fits into there quite nicely. That's it. Okay, so I'm going to just pull this around so that it's wound around a couple of times so that it's nice and secure. There we are. How's that looking? Wonderful. So let's snip that off, and we'll snip this guy off here. There we go. And we'll just trim this little bit of banana yarn here and just tuck that in. These little fibres, don't worry about the fibres. I think they make them look extra specially yummy. Now then, do we need to fit anything else on there, do you think? Let's get those out of the way for now. Okay, so how are we feeling about this? I think that's a wonderful bead already, don't you? Nice and neat, but sort of jumbled at the same time. So I like to use sequins in these guys. I do try and use sequins which are planet friendly if you can, or use up what you've got. Just, you know, try and be as friendly as you can to the planet, I think, and use sort of recyclable materials as best as we can. I think that's important to me, certainly. So there we go. Let's have a look then. Let's have a think. Sequins. Yeah, let's use some contrasting colour sequins. I think that would be quite nice. And you're going to need some little, what's this called? Cotton. Let's see if I can get into this without making too much noise. Difficult to see what I'm doing through the camera, guys, so as always, just bear with me. Oh, there we go. Oh, wrong way round, Sam, that's why. Let's have a think. Too much of a contrast, I think, so we'll use the pink. So let's have a look at this. So again, just, you know, use your imagination. I think this is when your imagination really can take over. So you're just going to need a little needle, and let's chop that off. So just bear with me now while I thread this needle, which will probably take me for, oh no, wait, oh wait, there you go. That wasn't bad, was it? That wasn't bad at all. And let's pop a knot in the end. Do a double one. There we go. Okay, so we've got our coordinating colour of cotton here. Right, okay, so what we want to do is add, let's see if I can get one that's, I don't know, can you see that? Yeah, you can. So what we want to do is add at random little sequins. So I'll get a few of these out. Oh, seed beads are going everywhere. Oh, come on. Right, there we go. So what we want to do is I would start at the top and I would just literally anchor your cotton anywhere you can, and literally get one of your sequins like so onto your needle. Yep, I think that looks nice. And then you're going to need a seed bead to go back through. So a contrasting colour seed bead, I think. So let's have a look at these cute little matte, almost matte silver ones. Okay, so you pop that onto your needle and downwards. So you don't go back through the, hope you can see this, you don't go back through the bead, you go back through the sequin. So anyway you like, and pull. Okay, so that's nice, isn't it? So we've come out here, I think maybe we'll put another one. Actually, we'll just put another one there, shall we? So take one of your sequins and a seed bead. 11 or 15 actually work equally as well. I tend to like to use the 11 because you just get a little bit more bang for your buck, as you say. Okay, so not through the seed bead but back through the sequin and literally just come out anywhere and pull. So there's the next one. So where shall we put the next one? We'll put the next one here. So back up through, just wherever. This part of it is so random and so easy to do that you literally just put them wherever you like. And another seed bead. I hope the lights aren't causing too much trouble for you. But like I say, it's been a very, very dull day today, and I really fancied making some of these today with you. So hopefully it's not too harsh a light, these lights that I've got. Okay, so can you see how I've got these little sparkly seed beads? And let's put another one here. So what have you guys been making recently? I've been making lots of jewellery actually. I've got some fairs to coming up, and I've got some money to raise for a local autism charity. So I have very close links with the autism community, given that I've got a couple of neurodivergent children. So I like to do what I can whenever I can to sort of raise a little bit of money for the charity, mainly because they do some amazing work. There we go. So my youngest also has lupus. So if there's anybody out there who has lupus or a child with lupus, you'll know exactly how difficult that can be too. So I do use crafting as a way of relaxing and taking my mind off the stresses and strains of everyday life, because I'm sure you guys know and you're very aware of the fact that living with an illness such as lupus can be extremely hard work. So crafting to me is something that makes me feel good, and I like to sit down and just drag out all of my bits and pieces and basically just take my mind off things for a few hours. So I'm lucky in that sense that I do have a few hours spare these days. Okay, so can you see how we've got some gorgeous little sparkly bits and pieces going on here. So let's have a look. I'll put another one maybe here. So tell me how big your stashes are, guys. Have you got really, really large stashes at home? I think mine is a little bit too large. And aren't we awful? Instead of using up what we've got, we see things and go, oh, I've got to have that. And then it just literally adds to the melee at home. I have, I'm sure, pretty much, apart from my bedroom and my kitchen, I think that I've got craft supplies in every single room in my house. Are you the same as me? Honestly. So as we sit here and mindfully sew these beautiful sparklies onto this gorgeous bead. There we go. How's that looking? Beautiful. I love this one, actually. I'm really, really happy with the size of this one. Actually, when I cut the straw, I thought, oh, it's going to be too big, but you know what? Here we go. Nearly there. Nearly there. And then, all you guys that have already turned this video off because you're bored to tears, that's absolutely fine. I don't do this for love or money. I do this for myself. So as I'm sat here chatting away to you guys, who cares? Who cares if there's only like one person that watches this? It's lovely to have you here, listening to me bimbling along. I don't do very many of these craft along with me type things because I'm always worried that people will just get bored listening to me talking. So, in fact, I talk to myself quite a lot. It's very, very difficult to maintain friendships when you have the kind of lifestyle that I have, because I'm always so very busy with one thing and another. So it's actually nice to have you guys. So if you're not bored of me chatting, that's great. Thank you for your patience. Right, so we're nearly there actually. So back through the sequin rather than the bead, and back up. Well, they're gorgeous. Okay, so let's think about, maybe I'll do the last one here. Maybe two more. Oh, there we go. I'm actually using a beading needle here. It's probably best if you use a proper sewing needle, because the beading needles are a little bit, they're not very sturdy, are they, to get through those. So this is probably a tiny size 11 or something like that. There we go. So back through. Oh, there we go. So I hope you're catching all this on camera, and I've done a decent enough job of keeping it on camera, which I'll probably find out that I haven't when I'm editing this video. So there we go. Okay, last one. Last one, actually. I think that looks really, really cute. So there we go, last one. Through the sequin. Actually, because this cotton is a very similar colour to the bead itself, you can just finish this off the same as you would when you're sewing something else. Literally through, and then back through, and just secure it with a couple of double knots. There you go. So let's snip that off. I'll pop that out of the way. Right, so there we go. How is that? Gosh, that's a nice big, much bigger than the other ones I've made. Oh, blimey. Okay, so beautiful. How is that? Gorgeous. So now you just sort of faff around with it, and if you're happy enough with it, let's attach. Shall we do that one, or shall we do a paler one? What do you think? Oh, now then, like a salmon pinky type. I think that looks really nice, don't you? What do you think? Which one? Salmon pink, I think. So all you need to do is, because you've made your little loop at this side, I'll just straighten that up slightly, just because. So let's open that up, pop our little tassel on. You can put all sorts of things on the end of here, tassels or charms. Yeah, so I'll show you my box of charms, shall I? Let's just lean over here. Oh gosh, look. Has anybody else got these kind of boxes at home? Let me open that up. Gosh, look at all these. Oh, shall we put a charm on? Ooh, gosh. All sorts of things in here. Maybe one day we'll do a stash video, shall we? And we can sort of laugh about how much stuff we've got. Good grief. I don't know. What do you think? Should we leave it with a tassel? There's all sorts of beautiful things in here. Little... Ooh, you could have two things on there, couldn't you? Yes, let's do that. Now, see? I'm glad I brought that box out now. Let's just pop that over there on the table. So, let's have a think. Yeah, we'll open that up. And we'll pop an extra charm on and we'll see what that looks like. Oh yes, I like that. Maybe it doesn't sit right. Maybe I'll put it on a jump ring. So we'll take that off for now and I'll pop that on a jump ring later. Okay, so there we are. So what we need to do now is I have to find my key ring links. So I'll be back in a second, won't be long. Sorry about that. I thought I'd grab these guys out, but obviously not. So obviously just keyring links. So let's grab one of these out. Oh, that's loud, isn't it? Sorry about that. Okay, so you can get these really, really inexpensively. They're great with the clasp on. I've got glue all over my fingers. There we go. So the last thing we need to do is pop this open here, pop this on, and literally close that up. And then we have a keyring charm here. Actually, not quite keen on that. So what I will do, that's a little bit too big for my liking. So I'll just pop that off if I can. This is typical because it's, there you go. What I might do is I might just take that guy off, the ring off, and just pop that on. Yeah, that's better. I think the big ring was a little bit too much for my liking. There we go. Oh, how cool is that? Okay, so that's our sparkly, beautiful, huge boho bead. Aren't they beautiful? You can use these guys for all sorts of things, in all sorts of sizes, with charms, and I don't know, attach them to anything you like. Attach them to your husband. There you go. Make him sparkly. Yeah, if anything like mine, he'd hate that. Okay, so I'll be back soon to show you how to make the earring version of these guys, where obviously they're a lot smaller. And so I hope you really enjoy making these. And I'll see you in my next video. Thanks for watching, guys, as always, and I'll see you soon.